From the outside, you're the guy. You're the one with all the answers. You're the one that everybody looks to. But right now, you're feeling lost. You're feeling alone. Feeling isolated, like you have all this weight just sitting right here square on your shoulders. And you don't know what to do. You don't also know who to ask because you've always been the one that everybody asks. That is exactly where I was 5 years ago. And I had a $40 million company, 100 employees, and people looking to me for every answer, everything, in every moment. But that weight became too much. And I broke. And I'm here today because I don't want you to break too. Because just because you feel that heaviness, just because you feel that isolation, like you are the only one that can come up with the answer, does not mean that that's actually the case. Because you're not alone. And there's people that are here to support you. That's why we created a Level 5 Life. Because the framework is where you create the difference. When you live a life with intention, when you live a life that you understand exactly where you're going and why, you understand the actions you're taking and why. Instead of just floating through day to day, thinking that something's going to change. It's not going to change until you change. And you're not going to change until you decide that enough is enough. Because playing small or playing the same thing over and over again and getting outside of yourself, the parts that you know brought you to where you are today. Maybe it was the values that you had, your word that brought you to where you are today. You knew that was your pathway. You knew this was where I was going, how I was going, and why I was doing it. But over time, you got comfortable. Started making a lot of money. Started having everybody tell you how great you are. And then you stopped doing the things that you knew got you to where you are. And you're just waiting for that shoe to drop. You're just waiting for everything you built to be taken away. But it doesn't have to get taken away. That's not where you have to drive to. Maybe you feel like an imposter. Maybe you feel like all this success, that's not who I am. That's not for me. I'm borrowing somebody else's life. But reality is this, you earned that. You walked into that not on accident, but if you don't evolve, if you don't take those next steps, if you don't reset your value system, reset the relationships that you have, ensure that you're moving with purpose and intention so that you end up with a life that you actually desire to have. When you wake up, you feel fulfilled. When you wake up, you feel like you have purpose, that you're energized, that you're driven, that you're being pulled towards something. Instead of every day feeling like you're having to push the same rock up the hill just to watch it roll back down. So that's what the Level 5 framework is. It's not a quick change your life in one moment. It's the everyday, day in, day out, live with intention. It's spending the time to understand what is that version of you that is the life you desire to live. And when you do that, you can create a life by design, a life that's not built by accident, that's purposeful, that puts you in the right places at the right time in alignment with the right people. So I'm going to share with you the framework that I built because I found it to be in business. There's all kinds of frameworks to build your business, to set your goals, to move towards KPIs, to win, to make money. But the person that's driving the business, if they don't have a framework for their own life, what do you think happens? If you don't have a framework, are you able to show up every day, create the outcomes that you desire? Or are you just kind of repeating over and over again? Level 5 framework is this. We really zone in, understand what is your highest self, that version of you that when you die and you're in front of God and he goes and he plays your life and then he plays the life that he built you for, with all the gifts that he gave you, the purpose that you were meant to do, the impact that you're meant to leave, the legacy, we review that. That film, what does it look like? And how much time have you spent with that? So we're going to develop that out, and then we're going to look at your 3-year vision. So from the highest self to 3 years, we're going to make it enough time that you can imagine your life being much different than where it is right now. Now we go from 3-year vision, and not just in your business, not just in your health and fitness, not just in your relationships, not just in your personal development, but in your whole life, your legacy, your purpose, your why, all those things together. Because when you have a life that's unified, when you have a life where it's not fragmented and broken, that's how you can truly create a life worth living. So we're going to go 3 years, then we're going to break that down into ripples. We call this our 90-day non-negotiables that you do, that you're going to set every 90 days, that no matter what you're going to achieve. Then from there, we break down what are our weekly KPIs, what are the metrics that we're measuring. And you may measure metrics in your life and business, maybe health and fitness. Where else are you lacking the intention that if you applied that, what happens? Unlock. And we're seeing that every day with the people in Level 5 Life right now. And you have that ability and you deserve to do that too. So then we set those weeklies, and then Better than that, break it down even further. And we go down to our daily non-negotiables. Because firm believer, if we win our morning, then we win our day. We win our day, then we win our life. And so you start with your morning, our routines, our rituals, and then we bookend our day with the evening routine ritual, and we go, what is one non-negotiable for the day? What is the big thing that's going to move today forward that's going to make that difference? And we have that listed out in accountability every single day. Now think about that. 365 days in 1 year. If you start today in 365 days, if you have a morning routine, an evening routine ritual, one big thing per day that you get done, and then you have measurements throughout the week, and then you have a 90 days, one big non-negotiable per pillar that's going to move you towards that 3-year vision for your life, that's going to end up connecting with that version that God made you for, that highest self. What do you think happens? Now, the real question is, if you don't take action today, what is the cost of not doing it? Because if you have the ability to create an impact on the world, impact on people, create greatness in your life, to stop feeling alone and isolated, to know that you have people that support you and have your back, that you're having fun along the way, that you're living with purpose, you're making real impact in the world. What's the cost of not taking that action? Because the only thing that I can think about is, if I'm living a life that I'm not fully excited about, what am I doing? Because I no longer am going to do that. I did that long enough. And I hope you can make that same commitment to yourself and that same decision for yourself, because we have the ability every single day to decide what our identity is. You don't have to identify with the old version of you. Maybe you're feeling shame because things didn't go exactly how you desired to go. Maybe you had some failures along the way. You know what? That doesn't define us. That actually amplifies us, because through those failures is where we find and discover ourselves. Because if we just won every single time, this wouldn't even be worthwhile. So through those lessons are how we gain our strength. And through being with other brothers that are also learning those lessons and grinding through that, living a life bigger than themselves, that's where iron sharpens iron. And that's the opportunity today that we have with Level 5 Life, or with just this framework, because you can take everything that I'm doing and you can implement it yourself. You can do it without any coaching, without any accountability, without brotherhood that's there. But the question is, have you done it yet? If the answer is no, then why not? Because all the information is always available. I've taken stuff from my experiences building companies with 100 employees, doing 8 figures in revenue, almost dying in a motorcycle accident, losing everything, rebuilding it, losing my father, going through a divorce, that I've learned as I've gained through that, and I've put it in this program. And you can do that without even being a part of anything. But I'm doing it in a way that takes what I've been through, that version of me that I wish I had somebody that put their hand out and said, you know, I've been through this before. Let me help be a mirror for you. Let me help guide you along the way, or just provide a little bit of support. If you're watching this and that calls to you, reach out to me. I'm here for you. Take that action. There's other men that are here for you. And that's what we call a Level 5 life. Now we talked about, how do we put the structure together? How do we live a life that's in alignment? But all of that doesn't happen without us shifting our identity. And when we understand truly what we desire to create from our life, the action steps that it takes to create that outcome. But then it doesn't matter if we're going to self-sabotage it. And maybe this relates. We have some childhood trauma. Maybe sometimes we feel like we're winning in life, but that's not a life that was meant for us. And we find a way to destroy that, either with women or gambling or other vices, or maybe we just stop caring in the same way that we did to get to the point we are. And those things that have propelled us to get to a certain point are the exact same things that hold us back from taking it to that next level. And as we evolve in life, there's always going to be these different devils. And the way to combat that is to really get focused on our identity, who we are, why we are, what our non-negotiables are. And that goes to saying no, starting to understand the power of saying no. Because as we get more success and we gain more notoriety, there's more and more opportunities that unfold. Each one of those is a shiny object that pulls us away from what our purpose may be. And maybe some of those we say yes to. Some of those are the right opportunities, but many of those may not be. And how do we know that if we don't spend the time to truly understand what our negotiables and non-negotiables are? What it is that are truly desire to create the outcome in our life, and are those in alignment or are those not? Because when we make that decision that we're no longer going to live a life that just happens to us, but that everything that's happening is happening for us, and we're clear about the outcomes that we desire to create, then that's when the rest of everything opens up. So shifting your identity, write down what are the non-negotiables. Pull out a piece of paper, write those down for you to be that version of you that you desire, that you know that you're meant for. You knew exactly who you are. Write down the non-negotiables for that person and make a commitment to yourself that you're going to implement that today. What right now is in your calendar, in your schedule, that is not in alignment with that purpose? That's not in alignment with your highest self? Where are you spending time right now that you know this does not serve me? This at some point is going to cost me something truly important to me. And that no longer is going to be part of your identity anymore. It could be alcohol. It could be watching porn. It could be a variety of different things that you know no longer serve you and you're not going to do anymore, because that's part of your non-negotiables. So really setting your identity and your intention with that, with the framework, that's how we're going to take it to the next level and truly unlock that version of you that you're meant to live, that you deserve to live. The one thing that you have to understand right now, to know where you're going requires you to know where you are, and to be truly authentic in that. To be authentic, you have to be vulnerable. And so I've been working on the last year, how do we get people to be clear on who they are and where they are right now, to provide a full mirror so they can see themselves clearly. And I'm so excited because I finally completed our life assessment. It's 50 questions that is going to give you a full view into your life, into all 5 pillars, where you are in your relationships and your wealth and your health and fitness, where you are in your personal development and your legacy. And it's going to truly dive into each one of those and give you insight in some really unique ways that takes scientifically proven frameworks, and we've implemented those into our system and structure to create something truly unique, something profound that will open your eyes. So if you click down in this link below, it will take you to the 50 question assessment that will truly give you a unique look and insight into your life, where you currently are right now. And once you know that, once you truly understand where you are right now, then we can create the life that you always desired. Then you can live and wake up with a sense of purpose. Wake up and be energized again, pulled out of bed, ready to go, and not dreading the day. Not thinking about all the weight and all the things that are carrying you, weighing you down, and the weight that you're carrying. No, you get to live inspired. You get to live with a sense of renewed vigor and excitement, refreshed relationships. But until you really take the time to understand you, take the time to dive in, you will never truly understand who you are made to be. And that's there for you right now. It's your choice, your decision. Click the link below and let's start today. Appreciate you guys for listening to this. Hey, this may not have been for everybody, but if it really connected with you, if you really felt what I was saying, because maybe you're going through some of the things that I've been through, the things that called me to be here right now on this camera with you, called me to be right here on this video with you, then take action. Click the link, fill it out, and let's connect. Then take action. Drop one comment. What's one thing that you're going to do differently this week? And I'll see you guys on the next one.